But apparently you got to go someplace even more awesome and stay with like Joe and Akemi, right? And like like it's a pug's life, right?
Yes, that was a lot of fun. That was really good. And I will be in London in September for a different conference.
Well, there you go. It wasn't better than Vancouver, so you know, you win.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
London's fun though. I live in London.
I would love to go to London. Don't get me wrong. It's just that we all have the same conventions agent. You need an agent to go to these things. And what she'll do is she'll quite simply pitch everybody, and then they'll decide which ones they want to take. Whatever, they didn't want to take everybody, so over there I guess they didn't want to take me. That's fine. One thing that you get pretty used to as an actor is rejection. Oh boy, yeah, like when a really, really good year and a good like rate of success for auditions is about 10%. So that's 9 out of 10 people who are always saying no to you. So.
You know I'm gonna need that when we're actually like interviewing you.
Yeah, but
You need to do something with your
what's
hands.
really great is it goes like this. It'll sound really fun in the interview, right? No?
Awful audio.
No. Hanging out with Joe was fun. Joe and Cami and the dogs. Good times. Yeah. I did. You know, the story behind me ironing my own shirts is as follows. When I was in grade 7, my mother had a rule that she had instituted that, you know, every Monday morning you have to have all your laundry in the hamper. And I remember one time just going off on her because it was Monday and I hadn't put the laundry in. My mother was like, "Can you put your laundry in the hamper?" I'm like, "This is stupid. I got to put it in on Monday morning. Why can't I put it in anytime I want to put it in?" She goes, "Well, do you want to do your own laundry?" I said, "Yeah."
I'll buy one.
And she never, ever did my laundry ever again. Yeah. So in a way, she had to kind of suck it up because we were like a church family, and so of course, yeah, I'd do the laundry, but it's when I sit there ironing my shirts for church. So I'd go to church and I'd have like the shirts all wrinkled and whatever, and she'd be like, "But you want to iron that, Mom?" No, it's okay. See?
I need a nice pattern, something floral, right?
Yeah, it's protesting. You can't have it both ways. You can't hand it over.
Not really.
Doing the dishwasher, like, and you know, dishes in the dishwasher. If you
Yeah.
do it wrong, then whoever like
Yeah. No. The plates go down on the bottom, and they all go parallel on the right-hand side, or else the wiper hits the.
Yes, we are.
Yeah, my dad's one of those guys.
My mom is like that.
Yeah.
That's what I've been worried about.
I think it might be a little bit of like some sort of obsessive compulsive thing where like even when they're sitting at the table from far away, they'll be like.
I just am trying to get, that's why you said.
No. You know, like they'll be like, excuse me, and they'll go like fix the problem, right? Yeah. What is this thing you've got there? What is that?
Well,
Yeah.
it's funny. It's a little up from last year when I actually got Play-Doh because I have one of these things. The mic stand that it comes with for weighs like 10 pounds.
Oh wow.
Well, this was our class gift, like our last year.
That's a mic stand?
Nice. Those are so handy to have.
One of those ones where you can like do the logos.
Oh
But
yeah.
it also works as just keeping it off the table, so I can actually because you don't want the mic.
No. I'm just saying. Yours isn't.
I have a mic stand, but I was moving all my stuff around, and now it's in one of my other bags. The joys of con. Exactly. Shuffling, packing,
It's
repacking.
already kind of floating up anyway. Like,
They move.
I know. It's neat. Feels like this is some kind of bug or whatever, you know, with the eyes that go.
Use my phone, but.
What are you laughing at? That kind of thing.
No, I'll push the wrong button. I told you what it is. All right.
What's going on here?
I know. Yeah, this would be like.
Oh my God, there's people texting.
Did it work?
Yes, I can do it.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
I work in IT. I think I know how to use electronics by now.
Great. Okay, cool.
I'm also making sure balances out, I guess.
It's really weird. But it's like I'm not like
Closing it.
supposed to start at 3
I was waiting for the people to arrive that would be outside the room to check in.
It's a cracker.
What's that? Where's this one?
Really good one.
We're going in.
Look at you, huh?
Look at you. That's a good shot of everyone.
Yeah, it's a good shot.
It's a good shot.
It's a little boring. Just saying.
It's a good boring shot.
Everybody looks good, which is rare to find a shot where 6 people
You
look
look
good.
like a movie star.
Wait a minute, are you in TV? Is that what you do for a
It was
living?
good lights. That light. So good.
Mel.
Shut up.
I'm trying to zoom on your face. Can you? No, but look. Mel, look.
Smile.
Okay.
Da 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 da
Do you
da.
think he's eating again?
What?
Huh? See?
I don't know.
There you go. Chew, chew, chew. I have a granola bar. Would you like it?
No, I'm fine. I've had a lot of granola bars today. I don't know what that even really means, but it happens to be actually the truth.
I had a piece of French toast at 9.
French toast
That's some gum. That's my.
doesn't really count as food. You know, gum. It's not a food group.
It's like food from hell. You can chew it, but you can never swallow. It's like.
It's true. And then after a while, it tastes just like eating rubber in your mouth, and yet somehow it's still in your mouth.
It's kind of getting to that Michelin flavor right now.
Yeah.
It doesn't take long.
I have this natural gum that's gotten there really quickly, and
post on YouTube.
it's been there.
Because I am just that kind of person.
Hey. All right.
Melanie's over there going, what is this weird guy doing? Running around acting like he owns the place.
He kind of does, sort of.
What?
Yeah, he's the owner of this building.
No, I have a wife and 2 daughters. I don't run anything.
Good point, actually. I got 2 daughters.
If you don't mind.
We need good light. Oh, that's good.
This stuff here, this pure stuff, tastes really great for about 26 seconds.
Is it like one of those
Well, it's like no non-Alzheimer inducing aspartame free whatever gum. Is that what Alzheimer's does? I don't know. Is that what aspartame does?
Something wrong with it. My wife said.
Do you guys want to start something?
She didn't know she wanted to wait for more people to show up from more outlets.
Not the good stuff.
But I've been recording, getting all your stories.
Claire.
Do you guys have questions?
Claire. Haven't done
Do you want to, on the record, share your theory about
Is
Sid
it
the
time?
Sloth?
I feel like I'm melting.
Sid the Sloth. Yeah, it occurred to me that after Baltimore, when I did a con there, and we asked who is the toughest crew member. In fact, we were asked who is the toughest crew member. And so Zoe and I were there. We looked at each other and we threw the question back at the audience. We said, "All right, who do you think the toughest crew member is?" And so I went down the list. I said 1,
Looking away. Oh my god, that's so fast.
2, smattering of applause.
Oh, I do like that.
3, 4, smattering of applause. 5, 1 clap. 6, Android. Everyone went totally nuts. So then I realized that my character, the role of my character might be a little bit like Sid the Sloth in Ice Age, because he's sort of like the glue. He's the guy who who's kind of always complaining and always doesn't really want to ever do what has to be done and doesn't really have the skills that the others do, but yet the skill he ends up actually having is being the glue for the entire crew. So there it is. That's the Sid the Sloth analogy. The question really is, if 3 wasn't on the crew, would it still be the crew? Is he Sid the Sloth? And I don't know the answer to that, but I'm like, because without a doubt he is, right? Without him there's no clan, there's no pack. There's just a bunch of people.
See, now I'm just thinking
Me and Sid the Sloth? No. Yeah, he's the anyway, you can tell I'm in Kidland, eh? There's a new Ice Age coming out, right?
I didn't even know that was still Ice Ages though. I don't know when I stopped watching those, but I didn't know there's like 12 now. I have no idea.
It's actually nice to chill.
But do you have children?
We've been running around.
Absolutely not.
Yes.
Absolutely not.
No.
It's been fun though.
That's why I'm still in the Ice Age. phase of life because I have children, and when you're watching children's movies, you're like, oh, this is actually a really fun one. And it has to be good from your perspective too, because you got to watch it, right? Yeah. Yeah.
Wherever, so if someone wants to join Anthony, and then if
Like, say, Inside Out. Have you guys seen that one? I mean, come on, one of the best movies ever.
Up with the most horrifically depressing montage to open a film that's ever existed.
Up, I gotta say, was the one. I love Pixar, and I think they never miss. But Up, I'm like, wow, you guys really missed on this one. I brought my 5-year-old nephew to that. And first he was like scared out of his wits, and then he was bored. I'm like, I guess those are probably not the two emotions you were going for there, Pixar. But other than that, they knock it out of the park every single time. Yeah.
What did you think of Zootopia?
I have not seen Zootopia yet. They all saw it without me. I was working, and so they went. I know, seriously, I was shooting, and they saw Zootopia without me.
That's not cool.
No, it's not cool.
Have you seen The Secret Life of Pets?
Oh, that's just out.
Just open, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah! It's about dogs and cats and what they do when we're not around. I totally saw it. It was not as funny as I'd hoped.
That's what I was thinking. I saw like a trailer or something. And I thought, yeah, I don't know what they were going for.
The short trailer makes it look like it's palatable for both children and adults, and I was super excited about it, and I spent a lot of money to go see it VIP, and then it was not what I had hoped.
There's supposed to be a plot in there somewhere, right?
There's a clear, coherent plot. It's just not as witty as I thought it was going to be.
Is it like the original Toy Story? Does it at least?
No.
This one meant like similar notion, right? Like, what do these things do when the parents and the kids aren't around?
Yeah, it's still really great. Like, it's worth taking your kids to.
All right. All right. Oh, spoiler time. Come on. Should I leave? I mean, seriously. We're going to talk about... I'm kidding around. Go.
I don't remember their characters, though. I don't even remember the characters. The light fluffy one. The fluffy white dog. She was just like, yeah, she was really fun.
So, let's bring this back around to Dark Matter. If 2 were a character in The Secret Life of Pets, which character would 2 be?
The fluffy white dog. Yep. Totally. The fluffy white dog. I can help you. Yeah. Kind of. Oh wow, yeah. Kind of. Oh my god, yes. Especially because his owner was like an old dude later. No, you're right. I'm the ugly, mean eagle.
No.
It's okay. It's true. I'm the eagle. When you watch it, I'm the eagle.
All right. Okay. There it is. The ugly, mean eagle.
Yeah, I did lead with that, but that's, not being totally fair to the character. This is a serious rabbit hole we're in.
I know, right? Isn't it saying?
Yeah, I veto this.
Obviously, we're in a rush to get this.
Nice t-shirt.
Melissa, you went to London recently for London Comic Con. I was there. I wanted to say hi, but I was working, and then you guys left, and it was very sad.
Oh no.
How was the experience of going abroad and promoting the show in a different country?
So fun. I went a week early and I checked out the music scene in London, which totally blew me away. And it was my first con experience outside of this one, and I've never seen people line up in lines like that. There's 3 different lineups that they have to go into. There's the lineup to get the ticket, and then they take that ticket to another lineup where they wait to stand in another lineup to get to you, and then they give you a ticket that they spent $30 on for a photograph, and then they don't even want to talk because I think that they feel rushed about all the people standing behind them, and they just get you to sign it and they leave. It's so bizarre.
Do you not feel like it's the same here as well, though? The whole not talking thing when they have the chance to talk?
I don't think so at all.
I think here people can get when they get like a
some of them just
like something, like a couple words.
The one we did at Dark Horse last year, I feel like everyone was really chatty. Didn't you feel that way? Or maybe it was our fault because we were kind of like, talk to us. But it was great, and it was really great to see Zoe's fandom firsthand. That's got to be the thing that stuck out to me the most. Actually, Roger's, Jodel's, and Zoe's, and being sandwiched between those 3 megawatts in that community, and just kind of sitting there watching it all happen was quite the experience. Yeah, everyone was so fun, and they were very engaged over there, and there's a lot of people that love Dark Matter over there. So it was great to see that firsthand.
The audience, the captive audiences about the same panels, though? I mean, the reactions and everything.
They were definitely a little bit more subdued, I would say. Like, they wanted to hear what we were talking about. So it made for the question and answer panel a little bit kind of funny because people were like, no one's going to ask anything. But,
What
yeah.
did you do? Was that like stand-up comedy time or start riffing?
Well, Roger was there, so that really helped.
Yeah.
And Roger and Zoe kind of riff with each other. But yeah, it was really fun to meet everybody. Oh, and I did like the photo booths. The photo booths were different. I like being able to take photos with people.
I think I've seen those, like Benedict Cumberbatch and
Yeah.
all those guys. You see all of those, fans are posing and having fun with them. So
There's a
that looks like
Jenga
that was
guy.
fun.
There's a Jenga guy. He goes around with a Jenga tower and like takes photo with people in his Jenga. It might not even be a tower. It might just be a stick, a Jenga stick. I don't remember. But there's so many wonderful people, and the photo booth is definitely the fun part.
I'm
Yeah.
not jealous at all.
Well, you just did a con.
I did, yeah. And it was very different. Sort of the opposite of that. And very cool con, one in Baltimore where it's a whole sort of science kind of festival. So they have writers and they have scientists. And
Right.
Baltimore being in the DC area, there's a lot of NASA folks who work there, and they they give talks, and it's because it's a slower rhythm. You get a lot of time to talk
Oh, cool.
to the fans, and you get a chance to sort of learn who they are as well, and it's pretty rewarding. It's kind of fun. Yeah. Yeah.
So, back to the story. We know we saw you guys do an episode where you played your old self. How was that kind of playing your characters with no memories for a whole season and then going back to playing your old selves? How was that kind of in terms of acting?
I miss my old self.
Do you?
I like your old self.
Nobody
You
likes
don't
my
like
old
Boone?
self.
No, I like his new self.
Oh, sure, empathy is a likable characteristic. I know, but it's fun to play the pure asshole all the time. No, I'm just joking around. I love 3, the way he's evolving, and I love that sort of duality. But I do. There's even another opportunity where we end up dipping into those types of roles in season 2, and there's just something really fun about playing the guy who always says the wrong thing and does the wrong thing. And Boone is sort of only half that now. 3 is only half that now, but Boone is still. It's great. You?
Yeah, I guess while we were doing it, I really enjoyed exploring that, but I had a lot of anxiety that I had to kind of leave at the door because I didn't really know how to be this person who's gone through a bunch of things that I'm not really sure about, only because I don't have all the pieces of her puzzle yet. So that was kind of weird, but I would like to do more. I hope if we go for season 3 that I get to explore more of who Portia Lynn is, because I don't have her pegged yet. And I want to keep fleshing out that character because she's really gross, and I like it. Like, it's fun to explore
By
that.
gross, she means sensual.
She's sensual, but I think it's gross when you use it as a tool for manipulation.
Yes, that.
Yeah.
But it's really, really fun to watch.
It's so weird.
Yeah, it is. It is fun.
Oh no, that's a later scene. There was one scene where we walk in, and it happens later in the season, but I'm just like touching the ship like it's this thing to me. I don't know why I did it, but it happened on the day, and it was just very weird after they would yell cut. I'm like, okay. Yep.
Cut, sorry, ship.
That's something you improvise, the physicality of that.
I walked into the room and I started touching the things. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I didn't premeditate, think about it at home, because I usually do that with text and stuff. But I had no idea how to behave, and it was really weird to walk away from the set that day because I was like, that could have been cropped, that could have been good. I have no idea. But that's not my job, so I'll leave that alone.
And with the new addition to the crew now, the dynamics between our crew as we know them and now the new folks, with the rest of the season, are we going to see different alliances being formed, maybe within our crew? And because that has to change the dynamic. We just had our crew against the world last season, and now that's changed. And we've got new members of the family.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it will change.
It's going to change a great deal, and I think that in some senses, I mean, speaking off the top of my head from 2's perspective, like, she's always been like 5, wanting to keep everyone working together as a team, and I think that she can have a tendency to hold on to that a little bit too tightly. Yeah, it's definitely going to change dynamics, and there's new alliances being formed with characters that you wouldn't expect to see come together. Yeah, it's pretty neat.
3 just doesn't trust. It takes him forever to trust, and then forever to forgive when that trust is broken, and so it takes him a while to warm to the fact that there are these other bodies in the ship, and that's fun. Kind of, yeah, which is funny because it's like, the last guy on the ship you really need to prove yourself to, but for him he's like, nah, you got to prove yourself to me. But when he's I think he's probably one of the most loyal guys in the ship, and it's funny because talking to the fans about what their perspective of the characters are, it's amazing how often that comes up.
The loyalty?
Yeah, how even though he is what he is, they're like, nah, he's probably one of the most loyal characters in the ship, which is, I think it's probably in the end, I don't know whether it's true, I'm not trying to rank anybody, but you wouldn't have assumed in the beginning that would be what people would take away from 3, but I know, knowing a bit where the character's going and where he's come from, that's definitely, it's probably more in his DNA than anybody else's on the ship in terms of backstory, and even though the audience hasn't seen it, they can sense it. So it's neat. Yeah.
It's like in glimpses here and there.
Yeah.
You get that, it's not obvious, but yeah.
Nothing's obvious with him, right? Yeah.
So seeing as that's not obvious, how do you think he was responding to one step in his own way, since he kind of trusted, the two kind of trusted each other? Do you think, we kind of see how 2 responds, but not necessarily how 3 responds to that?
Yeah, they don't make hay of it in season 2, but I can tell you that as an actor, I mean, it's funny because you're wearing this character when you play, and I don't, I'm not some method kind of guy, but I do remember when shooting the first scenes without one, where you would interact and things would come up and you'd behave in a way towards another character or whatever that was just sort of grumpy and weird, and you felt awkward, and it was missing one. Me as an actor, the character was missing another character, and was reacting. And was reacting in a way that it was all this subtext stuff I remember that feeling, going, wow, this is a really weird feeling, and kind of interesting to note as an actor, right? That you can actually, a character can miss another character when they're not in the scene, and you know that you're not going to get to play with them again. And that's, that was hard. Yeah. And then, of course, as a person, it was very hard, because Mark was beloved, is still beloved. He's a really great guy. And
He'll be back.
Jace Corso's still floating around.
Yeah.
Do you find that as a woman of color that sci-fi is more conducive to getting non-stereotypical material? Because for me as a viewer, I tend to prefer genre material because I feel like when it's a diverse cast, it doesn't have a lot of the same tropes, or at least as frequently. So how is it in your experience playing material?
I think that that's a spot-on observation. I think that when we're dealing with shows that are set in the future, it's great that they take into consideration that at that point we're already in that world that's post-gender, and we're still dealing with race in a very real way, especially right now. And it's great that I'm happy to be even considered a person of color, because I feel like as a person that's mixed, I'm constantly in that middle ground. I'm not white enough for certain things. I'm certainly not Asian for a lot of other things. Most people don't even think I'm half Chinese, and I kind of am in that murky gray area where people don't really know what I am, and I'm that ethnically ambiguous person who, to be completely honest, a lot of people give me flack because they think that that's the only reason why I get hired for things. Remind me of what your question was again?
Just your experience as a woman of color, playing the material, whatever you want to say.
Oh, I think that with science fiction, especially on sci-fi, they're very generous isn't the right word, but there are more opportunities for women of diverse backgrounds to play all of these different kinds of stories, and you don't see that on other networks in other genres, and I'm proud to be in their company. It's a fabulous honor, and Yep.
You don't need to prove that you're Asian. As soon as I saw you, I'd be like, no, there's an Asian girl on the show. I have to watch
Girl,
it. It's like,
you don't even
I don't
know.
the
It's
show, but I have to
crazy.
watch it.
It's so crazy. Like depending on my makeup, depending on my skin color, like people have a hard time pegging me. And then like anyways, that's a longer, weirder story. But chicks can be weird, and like it's better to just tune out the noise.
Well, maybe it's because I'm mixed too.
Yeah, Hapa, I see you. That's cool.
Do you guys have questions? I'm sorry, we're having a moment.
We're having mixed moment.
Yeah, it's a beautiful moment.
He's just like soaking it in, yeah?
Sure. I'm like the white guy in the room. I'm sorry. I'm not allowed to comment on that. Yeah, like, oh yeah, I'm the only guy at the table. All right.
Is there, back to the show then, is there any particular scene or moment coming up that you would say is a favorite for us to look out for each of the characters? That's not giving away spoilers, technically.
Yeah, we were just looking at it in the car actually, because it's been tweeted out as one of the sneak peek scenes for this coming episode tomorrow night, and it's a scene between myself and Jodelle. I love our relationship. It's you see a lot more 3 and 5 in season 2 than you did and in a way she sort of kind of replaced that relationship that I had with 1 where. But what's interesting is that there's a lot of similarities between 3 and 5, and you know they both sort of grew up in hard scrabble kind of ways and that whole thing. And she was an orphan, and you will find out what my story is tomorrow night. But there's a lot of similarities, so I think there's some kind of understanding between us that wouldn't necessarily exist between others on the crew. And it's just so much fun. So watch it. Yeah, it's right. It's I think I might have even retweeted it, but Joe Malozzi definitely did. So go to his Twitter and check it out.
Off the top of my head, I will go with a fight scene, which won't be coming until the end, closer to the end of the season, and that's a good fight too. Sorry. They all are with girls, though. I'll say that. There's one massive fight that's coming up. That was a absolute marathon to shoot. He's actually in that fight as well. But the one that I was initially thinking of, you are. He's not. Actually, he's not. He's being modest. But the one I was thinking of is actually another 2 and Nick's moment, and I like it because it's the first time that 2 is in a combative situation, but her energy is not combative. She's just engaging her, and they happen to be sparring. And it's a wonderful, wonderful moment, and I'm very excited to see how it turned out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Look for that.
Yeah.
How are we going to see Choose and Nixon's relationship potentially develop? I seem to be really.
I've heard Twix, man. I've heard people shipping Twix.
Shipping the Twix.
But it's
Yeah.
like a really powerful combination.
Yeah, I think that whatever was happening on set between Mel and I has created some really interesting dynamic moments on screen, and I've loved the scenes that 2 and Nix have had together so far, and I'm looking forward to see how the rest of it comes out. But whether or not we end up becoming an item is yet to be seen. There's lots of room for that relationship to grow, and if it doesn't, we're open to doing table reads of fan fiction. Like, it's just more stuff for people to get creative about.
I wonder what's more subversive, or what's coming out. It's the same producers as Lost Girl, and I guess we all know the show there, where we had a couple strong women in the lesbian relationship, and it wasn't even really commented on like it was a normal relationship. But I wonder what's, and I truly am throwing it out there as a question, I wonder what's more subversive. It being 2 straight women who have this relationship, and it doesn't become more than competitive, or it becomes this almost like buddy relationship between 2, or whether it goes in the direction that we've been sort of alluding at, the Twix, the shipping and all the rest of that stuff. I wonder which is actually more interesting in groundbreaking television. And I as the guy would not know.
Don't you don't think it's a weird overkill though?
No, because you never see like a fully functional lesbian relationship where they stay alive.
Where they both stay alive, right?
And also the fact that if it's two women of color, oh my god, internet will explode. Like,
right.
But then you could get too much to the point where you want to see just,
You don't want to be, you don't want to pander either.
friendship.
And that could be
It's
a
not pandering.
That's, yeah.
It's not pandering because I get like those questions all the time from fans who are upset about the lack of representation. Trying to not like live on my soapbox all the time. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's awkward in interviews.
Right.
I'm always the person who asks that question, but no, like that, it would be way better. Like you don't need more. No.
To be fair, I think a solid film and music would be pretty cool too.
Yeah.
Right?
That's where my question comes
See
from.
a ton of that either, really.
Yeah.
So either one would.
It's interesting, eh?
So thank you for the question to the press.
But it's fascinating to me because I mean, I'm a guy and whatever. Like I said, it's not. I'm also probably a fairly traditional guy when it comes down to it. But I have 2 daughters, and these types of questions are actually they're always on my mind, and it fascinates me. And this relationship and the whole sort of strong women genre that's evolving on sci-fi. Yeah, it's fascinating from a societal point.
Like I hope 2 gets to explore that stuff, but I hope that in my brain, I think that 2 doesn't see gender. She's more about people that she happens to connect with for whatever reason she connects with them. You know, whether that be for physical sexual gratification or if it's because of a mental connection or what have you. But I would be interested in seeing her connect with men, with women, with AI. Like if it works, then it works, and I think that would be really cool to not pigeonhole her as being one type of thing because I don't think people are like that. I'm not like that. So yeah. What's happening behind us?
They have to leave, so we're just doing a quick photo.
Oh, copy that.
So if you guys want to go over there.
Do you want us to go over there? Okay.
And then we'll switch tables.
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Take your badge off.
Thanks a lot. Thank you, sir. Thanks.